Hello, I'm Helen Saul and I am your business navigator. In this video, we're going to talk about one of the most important habits of a successful entrepreneur, and that's time management. Now, I'm sure you've listened to a lot of, successful entrepreneurs talk about their day, and I think you will have noticed that they are all very, very economical in how they spend their time. Now, what do you think came first? Their business success or their good time management? Well, I think you'll agree with me. There is absolutely no doubt that first and foremost, the time management got in place, and then they got really successful. And why is that? Well, it's really simple. There are two key resources to an entrepreneur: time and money. The time is actually a more difficult resource to manage because, well, there is only so much time in the day. You can't buy it, you can't borrow it like you can with money. So how you spend it is critical. When it's spent, it's spent. You'll never have it again. Every day that goes by is gone. The only thing you can change is how you spend tomorrow. And that's why it is so important. And it's the old adage that time is money. And if you spend your time in a really valuable way, then you will make money. That's why time is money. So what does that mean for your business? Well, it means that you need to build a business model that fits within the hours that you want to spend in the day. So what does that mean for your business model? Well, it means that you need to build it in a way that fits the hours you want to work. And that's often easier said than done. When you actually add up all those things that you think you should do, you really want to do, or you need to do, you may well find that it doesn't fit. And it's a very, very sobering experience. So the methodology I suggest has two parts. The first part is to actually tot up all the things you want to do and how much time they take. And then the second part is to actually implement it in your diary. And when we do that first part, it is an incredibly sobering experience when you realize that all those things that you have a really good intention of doing, that you think is what you need to do to make the business work, they don't fit in your diary. And that's why most entrepreneurs end up, working way too many hours and feel incredibly stressed, and the work-life balance goes out the window. So this methodology will force you to rethink your business model so that it fits within your chosen diary, within your chosen working hours. And it will help you decide the things that you want to do yourself, the things you need to delegate, and the things that maybe are not worth doing at all. This methodology has two major advantages. And the first one is that by planning your time ahead in a way that is rigorous while flexible, it actually frees up space in your head. Because without realizing, if you don't have that in place, every morning we all spend time actually thinking, what am I going to do today? And this is time and effort, mental energy that you spend actually thinking, so today should I be doing this or should I be doing that? I mean, there will be things that have been put in your diary or meetings you've got planned, etc. But then there's all those things in between, and you need to respond to that customer, but you also need to have a meeting with your employee, and which one should you do first? Well, all this time and energy, when you've had a really good night, it's great, you can do it. But when, the kids have kept you up all night, or, there's been a storm, or you went to bed too late, or, whatever, and in that morning you just don't have that energy, then the autopilot will switch on. And you can either have a really good autopilot because you've got this methodology in place and you have it clear in your diary as to what you're going to do and when. Or you don't have that and the autopilot is old habits. And I can tell you for nothing that those old habits will not deliver the greatest value of your time. They never do. So it really helps you keep that momentum and keep you out of the weeds when the going gets tough, really. The other thing is that the other great benefit is that it will also reduce your stress level. Because, well, you will stop cramming more in your day than there is actually time. It's like time expands. And that by itself will reduce your stress level remarkably. You will really see the difference. The next question might be, well, when is a good time to implement this methodology? Well, there is no better time than the present, because every day that goes by is in the past. So today is the best day. I have never come across an entrepreneur who said to me, oh, I wish I had done better time management later in my plan. I would have been better. The earlier you do it, the more result it will give you. So don't delay, start today. And how do we do that? Well, this is what this video is about. We're going to go through the two parts, and the first part is a template that I have attached to the video where we're going to work out all the things that you need to do. And I'm going to talk you through the template. So I'm going to give you time to go and open the template and I'll take you through it. Right, so now you've got the template open. First, I'm going to give you a bit of a tool, and then I'm going to show you how to use it. So you will notice that there are two tabs. The first tab is the actual template that you'll be using, completing. And the second tab is an example of how, of the template fully completed, plus a bit here that I haven't managed to automate. So that's something that we do for you subsequently, or you can do yourself if you're proficient in Excel. So let's talk about the ground rules of how to use the template. The first thing is that everything that's in blue is all the things where you can put your information. Okay? The second thing to know is that here time is recorded in a decimal manner. And what I mean by that is if you're thinking that you're doing something for an hour and a half, we're going to put 1.5 in the template as opposed to 1.30 because it's not 30 minutes. We're counting everything in hours and fractions of hours. So if it's something that you do for 15 minutes, it's going to be 0.25. If it's something that you do for an hour 45, it will be 1.75. So that's the ground rules on how to enter time in there. The other thing to remember about the template is to only include your working hours, because as much as there is 24 hours in a day, it would make it a little bit complicated if you actually put everything you do in 24 hours, and on top of that, it won't actually help you fit your working day within a work-life balance you're comfortable with. So bearing in mind that everything you put in there, but the only thing you put in there is the things that happen during your working hours. Okay? Now, if you don't want to have the same working hours every day, then I suggest that you take the earliest you want to start, the latest you want to finish, and then you include whatever activities you're doing that might not be business activities, but that fit in within those hours. The next thing, it is probably obvious, but it deserves to be said, is that when you put in there how much time, you need to be realistic as to how much time it's going to take. Because if you think, oh, I can do this task in half an hour, when in fact it will take you an hour, it won't help you at the end of the day. You're being overly optimistic. Maybe it is that it should take half an hour, and then you need to think about how you go about the task so that it fits within half an hour. But until you can make it fit half an hour, then it's important that you put what time it's actually taking you now. Because otherwise, you're not going to manage to do everything. It's important to be really honest with yourself. It's about improving how you focus your time and your work-life balance. The other thing that you need, that I've built into the template to help you, is that I've put a bit of a traffic light. So here is, once you've put all the things that you've done, you want to do, there is here what time is left. If it fits within your diary, it will be green. If it's getting tight, it will turn amber. And if you've got more hours in there than there is time in your day, it will turn red. So that's an easy way to figure out whether it's working or not. So that's about it for the ground rules of how to use this part of the template. So the first thing that you're going to need to do is to put your working hours. When do you want to start? When do you want to finish? So if, for example, you want to start every morning at 8:30, you're going to put 8.5. And if you want to finish at 6 o'clock, then you're going to put 6. And that means that there is 9.5 hours between your start time and your finish time. Then you're going to put how many days holidays you want to take in a year. So it might be that you want to take 3 weeks holidays, 15 days. And then you're going to put how many days of bank holidays you have in, that's relevant to you in the country you're in. So I am based in the UK. In the UK, there is 8 per year. Now, if you have varying numbers of bank holidays, depending on whether the date falls on the weekend or not, then you might have to review that on an annual basis and change that number. So having filled in those 4 boxes, that's now worked out how many hours there is in the year, how many days, and how many weeks you're going to be working. So you're now set to start putting in the tasks that you want to do. And the easiest thing is to actually start with, what do you want to do every day? In my case, I like to start every day with spending 90 minutes working on my business. This is doing the things that move my business forward. An hour and a half, that's 1.5. Every day, I'm going to have lunch. And for lunch, I take half an hour. Every day, I like to meditate at lunchtime. And that is 15 minutes, which is 0.25. So you get the gist of it, that you put in all the things you want to do on a daily basis. And you're going to put the things you want to do on a weekly basis. And it might be that you have meeting with prospects, 3 hours. And there are things that you might do once a month. And that could be admin time, 2 hours. So you get the gist and you complete all of those boxes. Now, if there's something that you do that are neither monthly nor quarterly or things like that, then you are probably best putting it in the annual section. So for example, I'm part of a mastermind and we meet every 8 weeks. So because of that, it's not monthly and it's not quarterly. It is every 8 weeks. So it's 6 times a year for the whole day. So what I will put in there is that I will go on my training, mastermind. And it's 6 times a day. and in the day I will be there for, I don't take into account the hour and a half working on my business that I've already put there monthly. That's 2 hours and 15 minutes that I don't spend in the day at the mastermind. So I need to deduct that from my day. So that's 9.5 hours in a day, less whatever you do on a daily basis. So in this case, it'll be 6 hours and 45 minutes times 6. And that's the hours I spend on the mastermind. So that's what you do when you have something that's neither daily, weekly, monthly, or quarterly. Then you put it, you calculate how much time it takes you on an, per year, and you put it in the annual column. Once you've put everything, you will see whether that's amber, green, or red. If it's red, then you know you need to rethink it. If it's amber, you probably just need to tweak it. And if it's green, then you know you're good. And if it's green with quite a large number there, you've got some spare time that you can invest. I haven't come across a lot of people who are in that situation, to be fair. I just thought I should mention it. So let me show you the example fully put together. So I've put all my daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, and annual tasks. What I have then done is color-coded them into categories. So you can pick your categories. In my case, I have a strategy category, which is time I spent on moving my business forward. And that's the 90 minutes I spend every morning, the financial review I do on a quarterly basis, and the day I will spend planning for the following year, and the day I will spend budgeting for the following year. So these are all strategic time. I spend time delivering value. That's time I do coaching or attending Navigation SOS, or when I build new content for you that I will then, new videos, or time I spend onboarding customers. So that's my value delivery. And obviously, as a business owner, at the early stages, that will be a large chunk of your time. And as you grow bigger, you can delegate more and more and do less time value delivery and spend more time on strategy and more time on training. So that's all color coded. So I've got well-being, which is my lunch, my meditation, and closing the day. Now I've got that as part of well-being because it's actually a really good exercise at the end of the day to spend 15 minutes closing everything down, putting your to-do list up to date, checking your diary for the next day. And then when you walk away, you really walk away because you're not carrying a whole lot of things in your head. It's all boxed in, it's all under control, and you can go home or shut that home office door or whatever it is and leave work at work and just be home for your family, for your friends, for whatever you're doing. So that's part of my well-being time. Training, and that could be training for myself or for others. That's why I've got team performance reviews in there, teamwork reviews. That's all part of training. I've put in that category. I've got admin time, and I try and keep it as low as possible because really the value add in that is not great, but I need to do my annual accounts. I will need to do a bit of admin. I need to respond to emails, etc. I need to plan my day with my assistant. And I'm very particular in how much time I spend in meetings. Because if I'm not careful about how much time I spend in meetings, then it can take over my diary. And then I don't get the chance to do anything. So I'm very conscious and very purposeful that I put so many meetings in a diary per week, or my assistant does that. And if somebody wants to meet with me, and this week and next week is taken, well, it'll have to be the week after. But I will not just put a meeting in my diary because somebody wants to. If I must, then I will purposefully choose what else is going to have to go. Or I might use some of that spare time I've got. But that's why you need a little bit of spare time left. So that's the idea. Now, what I have done as well here is actually calculated the total number of hours in each category and the percentages. I haven't managed to automate that because it will depend on the categories you have. So what I can suggest is that when you fill in that template and you put all your colors that you choose, you put your category names with your colors, you send us your template and we'll fill in those boxes for you. And then you can see exactly whether you think that's sensible or not. You know, spending 16% of my time on moving my business forward, for me, that's the right amount. Anything less, and my business is not getting the traction I want it to have. But at this stage, you know, I don't have enough customers that I can spend less time delivering value. So as time goes on, those percentages will shift, and that's quite normal. So that's that for this part of the template. Once you have completed all that and you're happy with it, the next stage is to actually open your diary and put in all those things in your diary, whether you use Google or whether you use Outlook or whatever type of diary you use. I recommend an electronic diary because it's easier to move things around. If you have a paper diary, it will take you more time to use that methodology, because if you want to move something, then you have to have it in pencil, you have to rub it and put it, and you have to write every week. The beauty with an electronic diary is that you can put something on recurring and it just puts it in there for you for, you know, the rest of the year, and that's that much easier. And the first thing that you need to put in your diary is your holidays. I'm not kidding. It is the first thing you need to put in there, because you need to plan when you're taking your holidays, because you're going to have to plan how you're going to pay for it, and you're going to have to plan how you're going to organize your time so that you don't run up here to your holiday and think, oh my God, I've got all this work to do and I can't go. You're going to stress yourself out. But if you put it in your diary, you can then plan for it, work for it, and then go and have a really good time. So very important. I've had several clients who just didn't have the bottle to put the holidays in there, and it's made a huge difference to them to actually go and do that. They made different choices in how they spend their time and their money in the run-up because the holiday was in a diary. So put your holiday in there, and then put all those tasks on recurring and color code them. And then you have a diary that shows you how you're going to spend your time. And then you can be more specific. You know, for example, my 90 minutes. On a weekly basis, I will go into each one of those slots and actually plan what I'm going to do this week that's going to move my business forward. And I detail out within each one of those slots, whether I'm doing marketing, whether I'm doing, planning, whether whatever the task is, that am I investing in my platform? Am I investigating new tools? These are all times I spent in my 90 minutes to move my business forward. And that's it. And then when you go about your day, the important thing is that you move things around, but you don't take things out. And if you stick to that rule, then you will use your time the way you meant to. It will take less space in your head, and you will be more productive. If you have any questions, as ever, don't hesitate. Drop into Navigation SOS and on a weekly basis, and I'll be more than happy to give you some advice on how to implement this tool. Thank you. Have a great day.